Let's go ahead and bring in our next guest, and that is Silverdale Seahawks head football coach Mike Connor joining us right here on Off the Bench Radio. And Coach Connor, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. And how are we doing tonight, sir?
Doing well, man. Just standing out here watching a little soccer and turn my head to the right, and I see a little bit of softball. So catching all the action over here at the Dale.
Yep, it sounds like it's a busy night over there off of Bonnie Oaks, and that's going to continue this coming Friday night, which will be our Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics Game of the Week on the Coca-Cola Red Zone. You guys hosting CCS. But before we dive into that game, and you could kind of talk about your team's effort last week, against a Knox Webb team, going into this game last week, you guys as a program at Silverdale have never beaten in school history, but, a fourth quarter comeback, propelled you guys to a 25-21 win over there at the Dale, as you mentioned. So I'm sure it was a joyful and great night over there for you in the Seahawk program.
Yeah, it really was. It was incredible. Really a incredible hurdle for our program to be able to compete with, a team like Webb who's dominated, Division II, AA for a long, long time. And so to get our guys to be able to compete, we've been competing with them, but not able to, get the outcome in our favor until, last week. So to get over that hump was a big deal for our guys and just our mentality.
Well, and in that game, I mean, you guys were, grounding and pounding everything on the run game. I think it was 235 yards on 47 attempts. So is that kind of the goal every week, just to pound it at your opposition, or are you going to rely on the passing game as well?
Well, I mean, we want to be balanced. Our goal is to be as balanced as possible, but we spread it out a lot and we throw it. But deep down, we want to run the football. So our offensive line has done an exceptional job of getting better each week, and that gives our backs the opportunity to showcase their talents and also helps our quarterback. He's a year older. Connor Jenny's a year older, so he's making better decisions, and having a good group of guys in front of him really helps him excel as well.
Yeah, thanks, Giff, for coming on, Coach. Getting an early region win kind of sets the season up nicely, but talk about kind of going how do you coach week to week, let's just say energy-wise, like getting up for a team like CCS. I know it says 1-2 on paper, but this team is a dangerous CCS team. They're very similar in that they're going to play defense. They're going to run the ball right at you. Just talk a little bit about what CCS brings to the table and kind of what it takes. Is it a player thing? Is it a coach's thing? And how do you manage kind of the energy level coming into a big matchup like CCS?
Yeah, well, you obviously have respect for your opponent, and we always want to prepare to bring our best in competition with them. But our motto is, last week's ceiling is this week's floor. So everything that we wanted to accomplish last week and being able to be successful against Webb, that's the floor for this week. And CCS is the next reach for us. So we're constantly challenging our guys to continue to improve. You win. Everybody thinks you win on Friday night, and it's just a Friday night affair. But what we did on Monday, what we did today, what we'll do tomorrow, all those things stack up to give us opportunity to be successful on Friday. So it's not that we have a nameless opponent. We are very familiar with our opponent. We want to learn as much as we can about them, but we don't put the emphasis on the opponent as much as, okay, what do we need to do to improve and really reach our full potential as players and as coaches.
You're listening to Silverdale head football coach Mike Connor on Off the Bench Radio on Talk 102.3. And, Coach Connor, we were talking with Coach Maynor from Tyner in the last segment, and, it's somewhat similar in a way, but I know you guys have a home field and they're still waiting for their stadium to be built with their construction of their school, but a lot of construction and, dirt being moved over there at Silverdale as well lately. Kind of talk about just that, and you being in a new role as athletic director, kind of talk about just putting on those two different hats and seeing the construction going on at the complex that's going to be taking place over the next couple of years.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of growth happening over here and a lot of opportunity for our community. We just expanded our fields in preparation for turf, hopefully in the next year. So our visitor side was actually pushed back to give us more room for our soccer programs to be able to, compete on a regulation field for the playoffs. Behind the east end zone, buildings are going up for our STEAM program where we have fabrication labs. Our school head is passionate about giving kids who may not be college bound the opportunity to develop skills so that they can go out and serve in the kingdom of the Lord. And so there's a lot of great things happening over here at Silverdale, and we get to play in the midst of all that construction on Friday night.
I mean, has any of that changed, like your preparation or practice, or I guess you kind of got a dress rehearsal with that last week against Webb. I mean, anything that kind of stuck out, or was it kind of just keep it between the hashes and hat on hat?
Yeah. So we've had to change what we train. We've got 65 guys on our team this year, so we got too many for where we used to train across the street from our stadium. It's basically half a football field. So Lance Rorix is the community guy he is. He's allowed us to practice on his baseball field in the outfield. And then we get a couple more days on the game field just in terms of training. But the rest of it, is about the same. It'll be tight in here come Friday night because we lost the whole end zone area until that building's complete. So, there was standing room only here last week against Webb. Some of our fans ended up on the visitor side. So I expect CCS to bring a big crowd. So it's going to be packed house.
All right, Coach. So paint us a picture. What's it going to take for Silverdale to come out with the win against CCS? What's the scout on this Chargers team?
Yeah, well, they're extremely good at running the football. So we've got to win in the box. I got to be, our guys up front got to do their jobs. Give our linebackers opportunities to make plays. We can't let their passing game get going. Elijah Duble's a pretty exceptional receiver. Big guy, big target. And for us on offense, we got to, when we don't turn the ball over, we have a good chance of competing with people. When we turn the ball over, we put ourselves behind the eight ball, so to speak. And so we got to be possessed with the ball. We got to possess it on offense, maintain it, and then go get it on defense. And if we can do that consistently for 48 minutes, we got a good chance to walk out shocking the world again because nobody expects us to win.
Have wet ball drills been added to the rotation this week with the pending forecast with rain pretty much beginning Thursday all the way through the weekend?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about that. It's so hard to tell. It was supposed to rain last weekend and it didn't.
Fair point.
Who knows? That thing may turn and shift. I was talking to Coach Reynolds about that today. We'll have to figure that out a little bit closer to Friday. But yeah, we got our ball dry ready. We got all that stuff.
We're ready to be there and cover it for the audience here, and we're looking forward to being back over there. We've been over there for a few games for our game of the week over the last few years since you've been the head coach. We've had some good ones, and looking forward to another one this Friday night. So, Coach, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight, and we will see you Friday night as Silverdale hosts CCS and what will be our Coca-Cola Red Zone game of the week. Looking forward to it.
All right, guys. I'm excited about seeing you guys over here. It's always a good time.